Welcome. Today's class is focusing on posterior exercises. So as always, if anything feels terrible for your own personal body, know that you don't have to do it. I'm not watching over you and making sure that you're doing everything. But you are responsible for your own body, so try to do everything with the correct alignment and try to feel all the muscles that I'm talking about. And if you ever have any questions about any of the muscles that I'm talking about, you can always hit that chat, or you can stick around after the class. I always ask if anyone has any questions after the class. So that would be a good time to be like, hey, I am not feeling this in my butt. I'm feeling this in my back. And we'll try to figure out what the heck is going on. And then what else? Oh, if I say like, let's do 10 reps of something and they're really, really hard for you and you're having trouble keeping the alignment, you don't have to do all 10 reps. You can just do as many as you can. Take it slowly and breathe. And over time, the exercises will get easier and your muscle awareness will become better. And then you'll be able to do them all the way up to 10 reps and maybe more. Okay, so let me just take attendance. We have 5. We have 4 people still coming in, but we should get started since it's 10. Let me just take attendance. All right, so is that today's class will be working on posterior exercises. So posterior part of your body is the entire back side. So we're going to be engaging these muscles, which in turn stretches all of these muscles. So bonus, the more you can, squeeze your butt, the more hips stretch you're gonna get, and that'll be super beneficial. And for today's class, we're gonna be on the floor. We're gonna start on our knees. We're gonna be on our hands and knees. We're gonna be on our belly, and then we're gonna be on our back. And I'll show you modifications for any of those if any of those positions feel uncomfortable for you. So particularly if you do not like the hands and knees position, if you have some yoga blocks, 2 of them, in particular these thicker ones, that would be beneficial to have. And then the only other thing is our yoga mats, and you will need a cell phone or something like kind of thin, and it's going to go in the crook of our knee pits, just so we can hold on to something and use our strong hamstrings for that portion of the class. So run along and get those things, or if you've got those things nearby, you can get started. We're going to start on our knees today, so if you feel like you need some cushioning underneath your knees, you can do that. If you prefer to sit down on your heels, you can do that. Well, wherever you are, just sit up tall and take 2 deep breaths, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And then still sitting up tall, just move your head right and left without moving the rest of your body. And remembering to take it slowly, just checking in with your neck in the middle of the week. And then bring your head back to center and rock your head ear to shoulder. And take a moment to allow your head to fall heavy to each side. Maybe you kind of pull that shoulder down on the opposite side and get that nice stretch in the side of your neck. Still breathe. And then float your head back to center. Use your chin to draw 2 giant circles. And really use your chin to draw those circles in front of you. Don't forget to breathe. Reverse your circles. And when you're all done with that, float your head back to center. And if you're on your hips, rise up and take a deep breath. And then on your next inhale, float arms, chest, and chin up to the sky. And exhale, float everything back down, dropping your chin into your chest. And then keep breathing in this way, filling your chest up full of air as you stretch your fingertips to your ceiling, arms by the ears. And then exhale down, keeping the length in your spine, just dropping the chin into your chest. Remember to go at your own speed, use your breath. Next time we lift our arms up, we're going to keep them there. And then bring your head back to center and draw circles with your arms. So try not to move your rib cage. Just stir your arms in your shoulders and breathe. My fingertips are glued together. I know you can't see them, but that's what they're doing. Reverse the direction of your circles, engaging your abs, breathing normal. And then stop with the arms glued by your ears and draw that giant circle with your whole torso. So bringing your body forward and then squeezing your butt as you lift your chest up to the sky. And try to keep your arms right beside your ears, hugging your head so you open your chest every time you go back. Reverse the direction of your circles. Time it with your breath. Inhale to go up. Exhale to go down. 2 more. And then stop in the center. 1 more deep breath and touch the ceiling. Stretch your arms up. And then exhale, float the arms down and back up. And then keep floating them down and up. But don't move your rib cage as much as you can. Just feel this coming from your shoulders. Also breathe. And then alternate the arms, reaching back with both at the same time. My palms are facing inward toward me. Good, and then stop here. Circle your shoulders all the way back. Breathe. Reverse. Excellent. Fingertips to the shoulders. Stir your elbows, but don't move the rest of your body. Keep it still. Engage your abs. Breathe. Reverse your circles. Drawing that circle with your elbow. And you can totally go slower than I'm going if you can't keep that control of the rest of your body. And then stopping here, extend your arms out and hug yourself. Switching the arm that's on top each time. Good. Feel free to tell yourself how much you love yourself on this hump day. I love you. All right, stop with your arms out. Open and close your fists as fast as you can and bring 1 arm up and 1 arm down. But again, don't move the rest of your body. Breathe. So arm is right by your side, not in front, not in back. Fists are opening and closing as fast as you can. And then float your arms up to the sky, fingertips together, circle your wrists, and slowly float your arms down. Breathe. Reverse your circle. Float your arms back up to the sky. And then stopping at the top, 1 more deep breath in, reach up, touch the ceiling. Exhale, keep the length in your spine, just float your arms down. Sitting up tall, take a deep breath. All right, let's go to our hands and knees position. So if your hands and knees position feels terrible, like this feels terrible on your wrists, you can always stack yourself up onto your fists like this. Or if you've got 2 of those thick yoga blocks, you can take them and set them in front of you, right where your arms will be, so in line with your shoulders, and then just kind of press your arms down like this, holding onto the block. And that'll put you in the good position if you are not able to go on hands and knees. But if you're on hands and knees here, make sure you're in your center, so you can shift your weight forward or backward a few times before you find yourself centered between your palms and your knees. And then we'll do our regular cat and cow. So take a deep breath in. Exhale, belly down, tailbone up, chest out, chin up, look up. Inhale again, fill your chest up full of air. And then exhale, belly button to spine, push down, round the shoulders forward. You go up, cat pose. And then inhale yourself back into your cow pose. Use all of your air. Exhale back into your cat pose. Keep going at your own speed, really using your breath.
Do one more time, out and in. And then we're gonna find our neutral spine in the center. And take a resting breath in and out. Then take another deep breath in. This time on your exhale, you're gonna twist and bend to look over your right foot. Inhale yourself back to center. Exhale to the left foot. And then keep going right and left, expanding and contracting your side body using your breath, like you're making a C shape with your torso. Inhale to center. Exhale, you bend. One more time, right and left. Once all the air is gone, come back to your neutral, bring your toes together, sink your hips onto your heels, and take a child's pose, relaxing your forehead down for 2 deep breaths. All right, press yourself back to hands and knees. If you've got the blocks, you're gonna wanna move them away. Get your hands directly on the floor. Spread your fingers wide. Make sure your knees are underneath your hips. Parallel feet behind you. Tuck your toes under. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, push your hips up into the sky, downward dog, and then start to lift and lower your heels one at a time, shifting your hips side to side, breathing. Reaching your heels to the floor, stretching the heel up to the sky. And then switch to both heels at the same time. Try to keep your knees straight by engaging your quad muscles. Press down into the floor with the balls of the feet to lift the heels as high as possible. Keep putting equal pressure with your palms and your fingertips down into the floor. And then find a stillness in your downward dog. Reach the heels down. Push your hips up, arms are glued beside your head. Take a deep breath. All right, soften your knees. Set the tops of the toes back onto the floor. Bring your toes together, sink your hips down. Child's pose, relax. 2 deep breaths. All right, flip back to that hands and knees position. Again, making sure you're stacked right underneath your joints. Fingers are spread wide, parallel feet behind you. Tuck your toes under. We're going back up, deep breath in. Exhale, push your hips up into the sky and then stay here for a deep breath. Pushing the floor away, stretching your hips up, reaching your heels to the floor. Without moving the rest of your body, send your right leg directly behind you. We're not going for height, we're going for form here. So if you find your hip is going up like this, bring it back down so that you can keep your belly button pulled deep toward your spine. And then straighten your leg by engaging your quad, point your toe and squeeze your glute to pulse your leg up for 8, 7, 6, really squeeze, 5, 4, 3, I almost fell, 2, 1, and then float that leg down. Take a resting breath in and out. All right, let's do our left leg. Don't move the rest of your body. Send it back, straight leg, pointed toe. Remember, not as high as you can go. This is for form, so pull your belly button deep toward your spine. Push the floor away, squeeze your left glute, pointed toe, pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Float it down. Lower your knees to the floor. Relax the tops of the toes to the floor. Bring your toes together. Sink your hips onto your heels and let that go. 2 deep breaths. All right, try to keep your hips onto your heels. Chin is glued into your chest and roll up through your spine, coming to your knees, bringing your head up last. Back to our knees here. So if this feels terrible, you can sit yourself up like this. We're just gonna clasp the fists together and circle our wrists all the way around and breathe. Reverse your circles.
And then stop here, shake it out. All right, then, if you are feeling terrible on your hands and knees, you can grab those blocks and put them stacked up. You're gonna have your arm like this for quite a little bit. But we're also gonna need our cell phone. So grab your cell phone. It's going to go first in the crook of your right knee pit. And cell phone is not necessary, but it is gonna help you really use your hamstring and your calf here and your flex foot to keep your legs cinched together. So on your hands and knees we go. Fingers are spread wide onto the floor. Legs, knees are right underneath your hips. And then make sure you're not shifted either forward or backward. You're right in your center. And then the top of your left foot is on the floor. And I've got my right foot flexed as much as possible. And again, we're not gonna go for height here. We're just gonna go for form. So try not to move the rest of your body. Engage your abs and then kick up to the sky with your right foot and then lower it back to where it came from. And that's all we're doing. Exhale, inhale. Every exhale pulls your belly button deeper toward your spine. Make sure your leg is going directly parallel and not winging out to the side. Make sure you're not sinking into your left hip. You've got both of those glutes active. Squeeze to left. Whoo. All right, let's find our max, wherever that is for you. And then engage your abs and your glutes and pulse just this leg for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then lower it back down. And this time we're going to hinge it out to the side. Exhale, inhale. But don't move the rest of your body. So this time you should really feel that side butt. Squeeze to lift. Squeeze. And let it go. Squeeze to lift. Exhale. Again, try not to sink into your left side. Both hips are in line. Keep your right foot flexed. Whew. All right, let's find our max. Here we go. Squeeze your glute. Pulse in your max for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then draw 4 giant circles with your knee. Keep your foot flexed. Don't drop your phone. Breathe. This feels awesome. Reverse your circles. Really squeeze your glute to lift that leg. Squeeze. Use your exhale. Squeeze. Last one. Woo. Oh my gosh. That's enough. Set your knee down. Take out that cell phone. Relax in your child's pose. Stretch your arms out in front. Take 2 deep breaths. Let that go. All right, keeping hips onto your heels as much as you can. Roll up through your spine. Back to the knees we go. Again, if this feels terrible, you can sit yourself up. Maybe you squeeze your butt. Clasp, interlace your fingers, and we'll make our wave. Stretching out. Oh, my fingers are cracking. Needed to do this before we do that other leg. Reverse your wave. And then shake out your wave. All right, if you need your blocks, make sure they're all set up. Otherwise, your hands are going directly into the floor. Cell phone now goes into the crook of your left knee pit. And then you've got your strong hamstring and your strong calf muscle cinching it in. You're not going to drop it to the floor. And then fingers spread wide onto the floor, knees directly underneath the hips, top of the right foot on the floor. Check out that foot, make sure it's not going out or in. Parallel, presses down, engaged abs. Remember, not going for height, we're going for form. Leg stays parallel, kick the leg back directly to the sky, and lower it back down without moving the rest of your body. Timing it with your exhale to lift, inhale to lower. So my left hip is terrible. It always wants to externally rotate, so my range of motion here is much, much less. So I'm just going to go through my own personal range of motion, and that's what everyone's supposed to do as well. Don't ever try to push, especially if you feel this in your low back. That means you're using the wrong muscles. Use your butt to lift your leg, kick to the sky. Whew, let's do one more. And then find your max, wherever that is for you. Pulse, squeeze your butt for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then lower that knee, and this time hinge out to the side with a squeeze. Exhale. Inhale. Without sinking into your right hip is strong. Pushing down into the floor with your knee. Shin bone is pushing down into the floor. Exhale to lift that left leg. Keep your left foot flexed. Hopefully no one's dropped their phones. Woo, let's do 2 more. And then find your max. Hinged leg out to the side. Squeeze your side butt to pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And then stay strong. Draw your 4 giant circles with your knee. Inhale to go down. Exhale to bring it up. Really squeezing your side butt to lift. Reverse. Should feel like it's stirring around in your hip. Woo, really breathe through it. And then when you're done, lower that knee down. Take out your cell phone. Sink into your child's pose and let it all go. You can rock yourself right and left if that feels good for you. But just take 2 deep breaths. All right, then stopping here, roll up through your spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Bringing your head up last. Excellent. All right, next exercise, we're gonna be on our belly. So if being on your belly feels terrible for you, you can totally do this against the wall. If you're against the wall, you're gonna have your forearms on the wall. And then you're gonna have your leg back. You're gonna keep your belly button pulled deep toward your spine, and you're gonna squeeze your glutes. Otherwise, everyone else onto your belly. On your belly, you can either rest your forehead on the back of your palms, or you can keep your head and neck up a little bit if you want to like look around the room. But most importantly, keep both of your hip bones on the floor. So if you see like this happening, bring your hip back down. You should really feel the hip on the floor, and you're squeezing your butt to lift your leg. So everything else is relaxed. Left leg's relaxed, hips on the floor. Engage your right leg, sending it out behind you with a straight leg and a pointed toe. Engage the quad to keep that leg straight. Squeeze your glute to lift your leg higher. And back down for 8, 7, inhale, exhale, 5, really squeeze to lift, 4, 2, last one, find your max. Squeeze your butt, pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, then hold and stay, and then check out your left leg. Make sure you're not using your left leg to lift your right leg. Squeeze your right glute, engage your quad, bring your leg higher on your exhale. Woo. And then lower it down. And then shake out your hips, relax, breathe. All right, now right leg gets relaxed, it's left leg's turn. So either forehead down, or you're keeping yourself up. Make sure you can breathe, both hips on the floor. Left leg extends back directly behind you. Straight leg, pointed toe. Lift it higher on an exhale. Inhale back down for 8, 7, 6, 5. Right leg stays relaxed, don't use it. 4, maybe you can straighten your knee more. 3, 2, last one, find your max. Pulse in that max for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, then hold and stay. Squeeze your butt for 4, 3, maybe straighten your knee more. 2, maybe higher squeeze. 1, lower it down. Shake your hips right and left. Breathe. All right, if you're on the floor here, bring your palms right beside your face, elbows out, chin out if you can. Scoot your body back, lifting your tailbone up, but keep your chest and chin connected to the floor as much as you can, all the way to your child's pose. Bring your hips onto your heels, chin into your chest. Take a deep breath.
And then roll up through your spine, coming up to your knees, bringing your head up last.
Before we flip things over, we're going to find our seated position where we will stay. All right, so in your seated position, find your legs still in line with your hips. Toes should be facing forward, and then scoot your butt a little bit closer to your feet. Bring your arms out in front with your palms down like a zombie. Take a deep breath in and lengthen your spine. Put your head onto the ceiling. And then exhale, drop your chin into your chest. Pull your belly button deep toward your spine. Relax the shoulders and roll down slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time for 8, 7, don't crash, 6, 5, chin into chest, 4, stare at your belly button, 3, 2, 1. Once your head touches the floor, float your arms down by your side, and then step your feet a little bit closer to your butt, but not so much that they're like directly underneath you. You want to have a little bit of space, so a little bit more than 90 degrees. Still with toes facing forward. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, pull your belly button deep toward your spine so you feel your whole back flatten onto the floor. Then squeeze your glutes and float your pelvis up to its highest height. And then check out your shoulders. Make sure you're not using your shoulders to lift your hips. And then if you feel this in your lower back, squeeze your butt more. Squeeze your butt higher and back down for 8. Inhale, exhale. 6, 5, really low butt. 4, 3, 2, last one, find your max. Squeeze and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, then hold and stay that squeeze for 4. Relax your shoulders. 3, 2, take a deep breath in. Exhale, 1. Soften and lower down, top to bottom, 1 vertebrae at a time. Once your hips touch the floor, bring your knees into your chest and hug them close. And you can rock yourself right and left if that feels good for you. Or you can just breathe 2 deep breaths. All right, and then set your feet back to the place. Still hip distance, toes are facing forward, arms return back down by your side. Here we go, take another deep breath in. Exhale, belly button pulls deep toward your spine, squeeze low butt, float your pelvis up again. Relax your shoulders, keep your 2 knees in line, don't let them fall out to the side, and draw some circles on the ceiling with your hips. So, squeezing your hips up to the sky, and lowering it down in your inhale. Exhale to push, inhale to lower. So the whole time you might notice your shoulders are like trying to help you out. Don't let them. Tell them to relax. No clue why shoulders try to lift. They're all the way up here. Reverse the direction of your circle, squeezing your low butt. Remember, if you feel this a lot in your lower back, you need to squeeze your butt more. This is not a back bend. Well, it is a little bit of a back bend, but it's a glute squeeze hip bridge. 2 more circles this way. Squeeze your butt. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. And then soften and lower from top to bottom, 1 vertebrae at a time. Whew. Once your hips touch the floor, bring your knees into your chest and hug them close. Take 2 deep breaths. All right, last one in our bridge position. So set your feet back to the place. Still with toes facing forward, knees and feet are hip distance. Arms down by your side. Deep breath in. Exhale. Belly button to spine. Flatten your back on the floor. Squeeze your butt. Float your pelvis up to its highest height. Relax your shoulders. Keep pulling your belly button deep toward your spine. Lift your heels for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, keep relaxing your shoulders. 3, belly button is spine. 2, 1, then alternate for 8. Switch. 7, switch. 6, keep breathing. 5, exhale higher. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower the heels, march right and left for 4. Keep breathing.
3. Relax those shoulders. 2. Woo, 1. And then one more squeeze of your butt. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Soften and lower from top to bottom. One vertebrae at a time. Bring your knees into your chest. Hug them close. Relax for 2 deep breaths. All right, hopefully your glutes feel really, really good. Let's stretch them out a little bit. Bring your hands onto your knees, one on either knee, and then stir your knees out and around and breathe. Reverse your circles. All right, and then let's set up our spinal twist. Bring your left leg out flat. And then with your right knee bent, take your left hand and place it across on the outside of that knee. Bring your right arm out to the side with your palm down, and then use your palm to cross this right leg over to the left. Bringing your knee as close to the floor as possible. If it touches the floor, that's awesome. But it's okay if it doesn't. This hip is totally off the floor. Right hip is off the floor. Turn your head to the right. And then maybe like a little bit more. And then take 2 deep breaths. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, maybe find some more twist. Roll yourself onto your back again. This time pulling knees really, really tight. In fact, if you can grab onto your elbows, grab your elbows, cinch your knees down, and try to flatten your shoulders and your whole back onto the floor. Take a deep breath. All right, right leg is straightened, left leg stays bent. Right hand to the outside of that left knee, left arm out to the side, left leg falls to the right. Head looks all the way to the left. You get 2 deep breaths. If you want to think about the quote on the wall there, that fact, 70% of your body's waste gets eliminated when you exhale. So let's do 2 of those big, deep exhales. Wring yourself out after all that hard work. And then you can use your next exhale to lower yourself completely flat and have your relaxation, or bring your arms up overhead, flex your feet, engage your leg muscles, deep breath in. Exhale, chin into chest, arms pull you up, abs. Excellent work. All right, that's all I have for you today for our posterior exercises. I hope your butt feels really energized. I hope your legs and hamstrings feel really strong. And I hope you are ready for the rest of your day and you feel really good. And I hope it lasts all the way up until tomorrow when we do some more different exercises. Thank you so much for working out with me today.